What's up, guys? It's Spencer with 916 RV Rentals, and our Coachmen Mirada 35BH just got back from a rental, and we're going to be doing our orientation and a training video so that way you guys know how to operate everything both inside and outside. Okay. With that being said, it's my responsibility as a manager to do my best to go over every part of this, every amenity, and it's your job as a renter to fully understand it. Ultimately, it will be your responsibility to safely operate it and bring it back in the same condition or better that it was received in. Okay, so we're going to go over the exterior here. Some little things. This has side cameras and a backup camera. This is the side camera right there. The other side camera's on the other side. Here is the exterior TV. Okay, close that. Here's our front storage compartment. Okay, with our little handy dandy footstool. Put that right there so you can get in easier, especially when you level it. You're definitely going to want to use that stool because usually the front of the RV comes up off the ground about 4 or 5 inches. Okay, and here yeah, you don't want these like slamming up against things, so make sure the wind doesn't take them. So in here you've got your DVD player. You have pass-through storage, okay? So you have your big storage compartment here, pass-through storage all along there. And then right here is really important. You have your Magnum inverter, okay? So in order to turn it on, you just click that button there. You can also do this from inside, okay? Now, if occasionally, very, very rarely, this will throw a little fault code inside. It'll have a little red light that shows fault, okay? If that happens, what you need to do is come out here and hold this down, this gray button down for about 15 seconds. Okay. Stupid fly. Okay. And it'll flash a bunch of times, and then it'll turn off. Okay? And then you can turn it back on. Okay. So, if for some reason the inverter, there's a little control panel inside, right on the back side of this, kind of right in there. And we'll go over that when we go inside. But if for some reason it flashes fault, you can reset it there. So very, very rare, but something good to know. Okay, storage compartment and pass-through storage there. Okay, you have power there when you're hooked up to shore power or when your generator's on. Okay. You have another large storage compartment here. You also have your outdoor rug. Okay, super awesome. I recommend you guys use it. I do ask though, if you do use it, please bring it before you put it anywhere inside the coach. Just shake off all the dust and dirt and all that, because it's a lot more difficult to get it off the carpet and out of the inside of the coach than it would be just to shake it off outside. Okay, here's your propane. So generally speaking, you should not have to be refilling or doing anything with your propane. But if you do run out, usually you only run out if you're going to rent it for a long time. And I just can't physically, you just naturally run out, then you could fill it up. Okay. But for most trips, I'll provide enough propane for you guys. Okay. Here you have more storage right here. It's a little cute storage bin in the back. Super awesome. Here's your water heater. Okay. You got a ladder here. You're not allowed on the roof. That's in the contract. No one's allowed on the roof ever. Okay. You've got your fuel tank here. This just takes standard gasoline. Okay. No diesel on this. And then you've got your hitch. You have a hitch receiver here. So you're not allowed to tow with this vehicle, nor are you allowed to put anything in that hitch receiver without written permission first from myself or someone at 916 RV Rentals. Okay, so that's for many reasons. It's a safety thing, it's an insurance thing, it's a liability thing. One quick example, let's say you just put a bike rack in there, but it's not an approved bike rack and you don't secure it properly. There's a high probability that you're going to have an issue. It's going to bang around and do a lot of damage to this fiberglass exterior. So if you guys want to put a cargo rack, a bike rack, tow a trailer, something like that, just ask us and we try to make sure it works out for you. You have your backup camera up there. Okay. You have your tank dump. On this unit, there's 2 blacks and 2 grays. Okay. So right here, we're not going to go over this in full depth. If you want to learn how to dump an RV tank, there's a million videos on YouTube, and maybe I'll even do one separately that just goes over the dumping of the tanks. But here it is. You have your black tank, your gray tank. You have, this is just an extra sewer hose. Usually that's not going to be in there probably for your rental, but I have a whole bin full of sewer stuff up front for you, okay? So also this comes undone. I don't want to touch much, but that comes undone, so you can put your sewer hose up in there. This is your black tank flush. This does need to be used every time you dump the tank, but you need to make sure you follow this instructions and have that black tank valve open when you run fresh water through there, okay? So it's your responsibility. You need to know how to dump the tanks properly, or we'll take care of it for you if you would like, okay? Here is your power. This is your electrical compartment, we'll call it, okay? So this has an onboard generator. The onboard generator is right here, okay? In the compartment to the left of it, okay? You're not gonna have to do anything in here unless you have like a crazy electrical issue or you pop a breaker, and in which case you can talk to me and I'll guide you through just a couple things on there. It's never happened though, okay? But this is where you are gonna operate in here. So right now, the power is plugged into the generator. This is the generator, this silver box. Okay, that's the generator outlet. Okay, that's the generator. If I want to plug the RV, this is the RV, into the generator, I go like this. Okay, just like that. When the generator's on. When it comes time to hook it up to shore power or something like that, or I guess it'd pretty much only be shore power, you would unplug this, okay? You would plug in your very expensive surge protector that you do not want to get stolen, okay? You would run this down here, there's a hole here, okay? I'll show you just briefly. Run it down through there, okay? I'm gonna pull it back up for the sake of the video, but you'll run it down through there. You'll plug this in, and then this is 50 amp right here. This is a 50 amp unit, okay? You'll plug this into your campsite, okay? Now, let's say your campsite only provides 30 amp and not 50 amp. So, I have provided you with a nice dog bone adapter right here. So, you can go to 30 amp campgrounds. Some campgrounds don't have 50 amp. So, you can run 30 amp. On 30 amp, you only can run one AC unit. If you run two AC units, you will trip your breaker and you'll have power issues. To some extent, some you know, could potentially be, you know, tripping lots of breakers, just one breaker or whatnot. But so there's that. If you for some reason you're at your house and you just want to, you know, leave it there, you know, the night before you take off or something, you can use this dog bone, another adapter here, okay? This will plug into a standard extension cord. This can go into your garage, at your house, or anything like that. This probably won't run any of the AC units, okay? It's just gonna top off your batteries, keep them all charged. This has residential appliances inside, so I do advise, if you're gonna have it parked for a while, to make sure that you're using the generator to keep the batteries topped off, or, you know, plug it into your house, something like that. So if you are plugged in to shore power anywhere, if this is plugged in anywhere else, okay, don't have the generator on. It is not necessary to be using the generator, and all it will do is potentially cause electrical issues. There is no reason you need to have the generator on and have this plugged in elsewhere, okay? And a reminder, if you're leaving your campsite, you're going to unplug this and you're going to use the generator for, you know, whatever you want to do on your drive home. This needs to get plugged back in, so I'm going to plug it back in, because when I go inside, I'm going to turn the generator on. So boom, when I turn the generator on in a couple minutes, that'll now power the coach. So we're good there, we're good there. Here is where you're going to do your fresh water, a bunch of stuff here. There's also another black and gray tank right here. You have your black and gray tank where you can have your sewer hose come up through here. Okay, take the cap off and dump there. Here's your black tank flush out. Same thing. Make sure that black tank is open when you have your water running through there. Okay, this is a sprinkler system inside the black tank. Okay. What you are going to use here is you're going to hook up, if you have city water connection, if you have a hose bib at your campsite, you're going to hook up right here to the city water connection, okay? You'll bring it up through here, up through this white little port, and you'll plug it in here. This is a 90 degree, okay? Make sure it's on, on the little switch here, and a pressure regulator. Okay, so make sure this stays on here. Here's a little outdoor shower you can use. Cool. This, just leave this in the down position at all times. I'll probably put a piece of tape over that and a better label. Okay, now that's if you do have city water pressure. Let's say you don't have any city water pressure at your campsite. You're just going out to the middle of nowhere. There's no hookups or anything. What you're going to do is you're going to use this. It's the fill water tank. So you'll put your hose. This is before you go. Okay, you need to fill your water tanks on board so you have water in the middle of nowhere. Okay, you'll put the hose here and you'll fill it up. Okay, this will fill up until it starts kind of bleeding out over here. You'll see water kind of coming out over here and overflow. That's how you know your tank is full, okay? Or you can monitor the level of your freshwater tank inside the coach. I'll go over that in a couple minutes when we go inside, okay? And then here's just a water filter. That's my responsibility. I change that out pretty frequently. So you're all good on that. I'll go to the next one. More storage here. Okay, I think it's pass-through as well. Yep, you can see pass-through all the way through. Here's more pass-through storage, another one of the big ones. Okay, keep in mind that these storage units here, these storage compartments here are under this big slide out. So when you're at camp and the slide is out, you have to duck underneath it to get in here, so don't hit your head and stuff like that. Here's that sewer bin I mentioned a couple minutes ago. Has all your sewer hoses. It also has your 90-degree adapters. It has it has like a Y splitter in here. I don't want to touch it, but there's a little Y splitter in there, right there. So you can use that. So also you have some gloves here. Always, put in some nice gloves. I have your water hose right there. Okay. So I'm going to put all this in here. Cool. This is a little ramp for your sewer hose, so it can go properly into the ground. And then here's just some levelers if you need them. You shouldn't need them. I think they're actually still brand new because no one's used them. This has automatic leveling just with the press of a button. We'll go over that in a second. So this is hydraulics. It's usually locked and should stay locked. Here's your other side view camera, and we'll go inside here. So we're gonna head inside here, and the first thing we're gonna do when we get inside is we're gonna level it. So I've gone around on this unit and marked. Get the key here. I want to close that. Okay. Over here, I have gone around and labeled all the different amenities and what position the key needs to be in and what position the brake needs to be in. So I'm going to turn it on to level it. I'm going to turn it on because it says engine on and parking brake on. Now I'm going to turn the parking brake on or press down. Okay, now to do the leveling, I'm going to turn it on, one firm push. Okay, and then actually this is crazy. It's saying that it's level already right now, which has never happened. But I'm going to do auto leveling. Click auto, and it'll bring the stabilizers down. Okay. Usually it'll have a little flashing arrow on what side is not level, but it looks like I'm actually parked level. So it's going through everything right now. It takes about 30 seconds, probably about a minute or two actually. You'll see the whole coach rock back and forth, left and right. You know when it's done because this will flash green in the middle.
Turn the AC off.
So it's still going? Yeah, I did. Okay, cool. So it's green. So now we know it's all level. So now I can just turn it off. Okay, we're level. And then I'll take the key out. Okay. While I'm here, we'll go over some other stuff. So I'll put the key back in pre-start position. Here you got your fog lights. You can turn your radio on if you want, just music and stuff. You have your dash fans, which are awesome. Highly recommend them. This is your aux start. This you can hold down if you need to use the coach batteries to jump start your vehicle in case your vehicle batteries die. This is how you turn the generator on. This is one way. I don't recommend this. There's a better option to turn the generator on and off in the back, which we'll go over. Okay, here's just all your AC controls, recirc, AC, all your different vent positions. We'll turn that off for the purpose of sound quality. Over here you have your mirrors left and right. This is your defroster. You have your lights. This right here is your dash light right up there. This thing is right up there. Okay.
I don't know what I'm looking at.
Right up there.
Oh.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. So I'll turn that off. And then in here you've got, basically it's just a vehicle, right? So I'll turn it on. You got your mileage, pretty much everything else. It'll come with a full tank. You got to bring it back with a full tank. Or else you got to pay me to do it, which is not fun. It's not enjoyable for me. Okay, backup camera, side view camera. When you put it in reverse, it'll go reverse. Left, it'll go left. Right, it'll go right. As far as the parking brake, you should never release that parking brake once your levelers are down. The second you release that parking brake, all the levelers will shoot up, all the hydraulics come up, and especially if you have your slides out, it's very dangerous, can cause a lot of damage because there's a lot of torque. If the whole coach starts slamming down and you have your big slides out, it could cause a lot of issues, so don't do that. As far as this up here, this one, it just kind of comes up and out at the same time. If you go straight up, it won't really work. If you come out, it won't really work. Up and out. Okay, you got some chargers back there. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is I'll turn on the lights. Here's a couple light switches here. I want to get the slides out so that way we have some space in here to operate. So we're going to come back here, and you might have to zoom out on this a little bit, but it says slides. You have to have the key out and the parking brake on. Okay, so I'm going to do one slide at a time. I'm going to do the front one first. I'm going to hold it out because I have the key out, the ignition's off, and the parking brake is still on. So we'll do one slide at a time, just to make sure we're safe. Also, when it comes to slides, you always want to have a spotter, okay? It's very, very important because, you have no idea what's going to be outside. Someone could put a kayak there, there's a tree, there could be rocks, car will pull up next to you, all sorts of stuff when you get to the campground. So we'll go all the way out. And we're good. Cool. And then we'll go and do this one, okay? One behind me. So go hold it out. I'm in a very controlled environment here at my lot, at my facility, so I know I've already done an exterior check. I know there's nothing out there that my slide's gonna hit. Because no one else has access to this place except for me, and there's nothing over there. For you guys, like I said, always have a spotter because you have no idea what's going to happen when you get to a campground and everyone starts putting stuff everywhere. So hold out. Okay, cool. Now the slides are out, okay? So you can see that one and then this one back here. I'm going to turn on this light so we can see. Okay. The next thing we're going to go over, so there's the slides. Oh, one more tip on the slides. So this is super, super important. So these are Schwintek slides. Not that it's going to mean much to you, but in the RV industry, Schwintek slides are controlled by computers, okay? The best way to make sure you don't have any slide problems, right, is to make sure that you do one out and one in. There's no need for you to start, stop all the way out, okay? What's going to happen is you're just going to create a mess in the system and you're going to confuse the computer. You're going to have to go lay down under the coach, reset it, and run back in here and go through a whole process. Okay. So that has not happened to any of my renters, but I know it happens to a lot of other renters, you know, in the industry, okay? I would advise you, seriously, unless you're going to hit something, right, or cause any damage, to make sure that when you bring a slide out, you press that button one time to go out and one time to come in. That way you don't have any issues, okay? Very, very important. And then you won't have any problems. If you do have a problem for some reason, I've never had any issues on this coach with slides coming in or out. But if you do, there's reset procedures. You can call or text me and I can walk you through them. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go over the generator. Okay. All right. So to turn on the generator, we'll go over the generator. To turn on the generator, you're going to hold start until it turns on. I don't know how well it's going to pick it up on the camera, or on the audio, but we'll do it here. Okay, it's good to go. Okay, usually it'll turn on faster than that for you guys. Okay, here's the hours on the generator. Every reservation has a certain allotted amount of hours that you get for free per day, and then anything in excess of that will be a certain charge depending on your reservation. Okay, so look at the contract for that. Now that I have this on, because it's really hot out here right now, I'm going to turn on the AC units because it's very warm in here. Okay, so I turned this one on here by clicking that twice and it went to cool. Okay, this is the front AC unit over here. Okay, it's over here. I'll show you. You can come over here. This is the front AC unit. Okay, there's a little diverter valve here, a little diverter thing. Okay, right now it's pointed straight down. It's max efficiency. If you close it, it starts shooting through all the ductwork in the whole entire RV, front and back. Okay, that spreads it out the most, but you do lose a lot of air conditioning in the ceiling. So, you know, it's more efficient in the sense it moves it more, but this will definitely cool it down faster. Okay, so I'll just do it like that for now. And I'll show you the back AC unit now. So here's the back AC unit. Turn it to cool, turn it down, and then this one will turn on. Okay. Right now it's shooting straight down. I'm going to close it. It makes it a little bit quieter to push it through all the vents. Okay. So there's two AC units. Like I said, you only can use two AC units if you're on the generator or if you're on 50 amp. If you're on anything less than that, you'll trip breakers all the time and cause electrical issues. Okay. Water heater. Okay, if you're on a full hookup, you might as well just use the electric water heater because electric's free at campgrounds. Okay, if you're not, you can use the gas water heater. Okay, you turn it on, and then it takes about 5 seconds or so to turn on. You know, and you'll hear a flame outside. Okay, I'm gonna turn it off. It takes about 10 minutes or so to get hot water if you use both of them at the same time. You know, if you use just one, it takes about 15, maybe 20 minutes or so. Okay, but these aren't ones that you want to just leave on all the time. You want to just use those, turn them on about half hour before you need hot water, usually in the morning or in the evenings. If you don't have city water pressure, okay, and you're just using your big water tank on board, the big tank on the bottom, you'll have to turn on your water pump. Okay, so right now I'm not connected to a hose bib, so if I were to drain the water, turn the water on, okay, there's a little pressure, but you'll lose pressure, and there's no more water that'll come up. Okay, just like that. In order for me or for you to have water when you're not connected to city water pressures, turn the water pump on. Now you see it's building pressure again. See, it's building water pressure. Okay, so I'm gonna turn that off. We don't need it on. And I'll turn the water pump off. Turn the water pump off when you're not using it, okay? Now, here's our little our monitoring station. So here's your propane, it's 2/3 full. Your battery is full right now. It's also reading full because it's being charged by the generator that's on. Your fresh water is 1/3. So this is where I was saying you could also check when you're filling the tanks. You can come in here and check when it reads full. Your black water is showing 1/3. That's probably just because I put some chemicals in there with a little layer of water to break down, the waste before and after trips. Gray tank is 1/3 right there. So usually these will read E. Sometimes they'll read a third, depending on my cleaning procedure before, like if I put chemicals in there. But when you bring them back, they do need to read E. If you can't get them to read E, you can send me a video showing me that you've done your due diligence, and I'll take that. Your aux right here, like I said, there's 2 blacks and 2 grays, 2 blacks and 2 grays on this coach. So right now, here's black 1 and gray 1. Now here's black right here. If you click aux holding tank, this is the black. Okay. And now this is the gray. Okay. So the gray is showing 1/3 on the gray tank too. Okay. Black is showing empty. Okay. So there's how you read that. You want to make sure you pay attention to those. Okay. Awesome. So here's the bathroom. Super standard. You got a bunch of toilet paper in there. Here's some of that chemical I was talking to you guys about. I actually just left it in here. So sink. Here is your broom. Okay. For cleaning, you need to make sure that you sweep it diligently, very well. And you need to make sure also that you mop it very well. Okay. There's a large footprint in here, as you can tell, and I provide you guys with Swiffer pads. I think right down here. Okay. So make sure to use at least like 4 of those pads in here. Okay, 1 or 2 pads will not get this nearly as clean as you would like, or I would like, or any renter would like. Okay. So make sure to use about 3 or 4 of those. There's glass cleaner and other disinfectant in there, and a new roll of paper towels. I'll put this back so we keep going. Okay, turn the light off. Cool. All closed. Good to go. Here's the bunk beds. So these are strong magnets. The strong magnets. The best way to open them is just one good pull. Okay, same thing here. Just one good pull. Okay. This is the ladder for the bed up front, which we'll go over in a second. Okay. Here's the DVD player and stuff. And you just turn it on, click the button, put DVDs in the side. Okay, it takes a second, but it'll turn on. I think I hit it on. There it goes. So it's turning on. Flip this over. These are both emergency exits. One thing here is if you got kids, I want to go over something. I'll turn this light on. Don't let your kids play around with these levers. They're easy to break. Okay. I've never had one broken, but I know if you let your kid play with them, there's a good chance they are going to break it. Okay. There's one down there too, so no rough passing by it and stuff. And I will have sheets on all this stuff, so you don't need to worry about that.
Do you want to grab the ladder?
What?
Did you want the ladder for the next part?
Not yet. No, that's fine. Okay, here's the door for the main bedroom. Okay. You need to make sure it's latched when you're driving, or else this thing will just swing around everywhere. Okay, there you go. There's accent lighting underneath all of the cabinets in this thing. I'll show you one here, but there's a bunch more up there. Okay, accent lighting there, really nice at night. Blackout curtains pull up, right there. Okay, another emergency exit right here. Okay, just like that. Make sure it's locked into place. Bring that down for the heat. Okay, there'll also be a mattress cover and a sheet on this. I just took it off and laundering it right now. There's storage under here. So also this table right here can be set up between the driver and the passenger seat. So there's the post and then the table. Close this. Scoot that up. These are all empty storage. All this is empty storage. Storage behind there with the DVD player as well. Okay. There's just the AC return there. There's power on each side there. When you go to pull your power cord out, just be careful. Sometimes you can break the plastic clips on these guys on each side. Bathroom, pretty much similar to the same one, to the first one. Okay, you got the curtains here. Lots of storage in here. You have you have the bath and then the main light here. And then here's the bath, the shower. Really large. I mean, I'll get in it. Look at this. I'm 6'1" almost. I still have plenty of headroom. So really nice. Okay, close this. Get this locked up. Also, before you travel, you make sure this is clipped in. So not just sitting there, look, you gotta clip it in, like this. Okay, same thing. Locked in before you travel. We'll go over, okay, the fridge. Yeah, we'll go over some stuff here. Fridge, residential fridge. Awesome, amazing actually when you're camping. It's such a luxury. You have an ice maker. It's probably, maybe just a little water. Yeah, because I let it drain, or I let it melt. So ice maker will function when when I have it fired up and everything for a while. The temperature's in the back. Here's the fridge. It's a full-size fridge. It's amazing. This is don't lose this little thing here. This is a little knob for when you're traveling so it doesn't open up. You have to use that. Like, please use this, because if you don't, I will tell you, things will fall out of here, especially if you have stuff on here. This door will open, and next thing you know, you have a watermelon that falls out, breaks, and ends up everywhere. Ask me how I know, okay? So yeah, don't lose this thing though, because it's kind of a proprietary thing, and I don't want to have to deal with replacing it. So, there's the fridge. Okay. The dinette here, to turn this into a bed, it's pretty easy. Just kind of wiggle this out, lay it down in there, and lay this post down, and you can turn it into a bed. Okay, pretty simple. Okay, you can bring those curtains up or down. There's a light switch there. This only works when you're on shore power or the generator. So you can turn that on, do whatever you want with it, change the colors. You don't have to have heat come out. You can turn the heat function off. So now there's heat on, but now the heat's off. So do with what, use that if you want. It looks nice at night. This turns into a bed too. In order to turn this into a bed, you just move those, and you lift up on this and bring it out, okay? Just like that. Okay. Oops. Stuck. Okay. So there's that. And then this folds down. And then this goes and lays down right there, okay? Pro tip, heads this way, feet this way, and it's much more comfortable, okay? There's a little bar in here, like in the middle, and it's not very comfortable on your back, but you don't feel it at all when you're laying the other way, okay? There's that. I'll lift this up here. There's 3 seat belts here, down there. I should have showed you. There's 3 seat belts there. There's 3 seat belts here as well, for a total of 6 seat belts plus the driver and the passenger. That's 8 total passengers. By law, it is required that you, at least in California, it's required that you wear a seatbelt at all times, all your passengers. Empty coffee maker right up there, pod style. Let's go over here. So this is super cool. Put this right back there. Don't break these. Okay, one of those hard to replace items. If something happens, you can go to light. You got your stove. All right. As far as the oven goes, same thing, pilot, but sometimes you might need to use a manual lighter to light it. I'm pretty sure on this unit you do need a manual lighter. Okay. This is Velcro down, so don't need to worry about that. Here's your microwave. Empty storage up there. Down here, I think I have, trash bags. Got trash bags, that's usually where those are going to be. Right here, you've got some dish soap. Usually I like to keep dish soap kind of in here. In case it spills, it just ends up in the sink, not all over a cabinet. You have pots and pans down there. You have a lot of silverware in here. Screwdriver. Lots of gadgets. Aluminum foil. And here, behind here is all your plates, bowls, cups, stuff like that. I know a lot of people use paper products, which is fine, but I still like to provide, some stuff for them to use, for you guys to use. So if you do, when you go to use the sink, you can put these usually like down in here, or sometimes if you're not using this, I've seen people just toss them in there. Okay, whatever works for you. But yeah, just try not to break them. It'd be awesome. And that pretty much does it for the kitchen. Let's go over the bed. So if you want to flip around, this is a bed. It's a motorized bed that comes down when you're parked. Okay. In order to do it, there's these little clips. I'll show you when I pull them out. You got to push it on the blue, okay, and then pull it out and let it hang down. Okay, same thing. So, boom. You can kind of take a peek over there. I can do it by feel, but you know, it's up in there. You can kind of maybe see. There's a little thing it goes into over there. And then to control the bed, it is right up here. So if you want to come take a look over here. Engine on and the parking brake. Okay, so I need to go turn the engine on. I'm gonna go do that real quick. Like I said, I've labeled everything for you guys so you know. So I'll turn the engine on and leave the parking brake. Like I said, once you're set up, never turn the parking brake off. And then to bring it down, you're gonna hold down and you're gonna wanna watch it at the same time to make sure that it's all working properly. Okay? You gotta hold it down. Okay, one thing to note is there's these little rods on the side here, on each side, okay? You want to make sure those don't come down and hit and rip off these curtains on either side, especially when you have the curtains open, okay? That's why I always say when you're bringing it down or when you're moving anything on any RV of mine, the slides, anything moving, awnings, backing up, stuff like that, always have a spotter or you spot yourself. Make sure you're watching what's going on. So, keep coming down. Okay, awesome. So you can see it is sitting right above the steering wheel there, okay? It'll sit like a ½ inch above it. This is awesome. This is like, I mean, I'd argue it's almost a queen size bed. So I think it's a really good space. A lot of my renters love it, actually. They always put, you know, a couple kids up here. And then to bring it back up, same thing, okay? It takes a little bit longer to come back up, but same thing. You'll click the up button. You want to firmly press that button. You want to try to make sure it goes up smoothly. Watching to make sure it doesn't catch on either side over there. And it'll go until it's about maybe 1 inch or so off the ceiling. That's what I found is kind of the sweet spot to put those clips back in. If you go too high, it won't do anything. You'll just have to bring it down to line it up. So I'll try like right about there and I'll come over here and check. Looks like I'm right on it. Cool, so I'll put that one in. Come over here. Yep, nice, right on it. So it's, yeah, about 1 inch from the top. Okay, so we're good on that. Now we'll go. Since we're here, we'll go over the awning. There's an awning in and an awning out, but I have to have the key off. I labeled it, so I'm going to take the key out over here. Like I said, whenever I have anything moving, I always watch it. Always, super good practice. Okay, so I'm going to watch it. I'm going to bring it out. And it's going. There you go. You kind of take a peek. Okay. There you go. I'm going to bring it back in. Just, you know, I want to show you guys how to do that. And watch it. Okay, good. Suck it back in. Cool. So we're good on everything up here. I'm going to close this. And we're going to go over a couple things down here. I briefly touched on it earlier, but this is the other side of that inverter. This is the inverter remote control. So, like I said earlier, if it has a fault it'll kind of pop up red right there, okay? So there's two different sides of this inverter, okay? The left side here is the essentially like the power management. The right side is the charging status, okay? Let's go over the power management side first. So the whole purpose of this inverter is to keep the fridge on, because the fridge is it's a residential fridge. It runs on shore power, city power, okay? So if you don't have city power and you just have the batteries, you need some way to keep the fridge on. That's what this job is, okay? Is to keep the fridge on. So when you're driving down the road and you don't have the generator on, and you just have the batteries, it's just going to say invert, which means it's taking the battery power and converting it or inverting it to city power, okay? It's going from DC to AC, okay? Right now I have the generator on, so it's saying AC in, because I have actual city power coming in through the generator, okay? The fault is obviously just a fault code. It'll blink red if it has an issue. The right side is the charging status of the batteries, okay? So, bulk needs to really charge the batteries a lot. Absorb is medium, and float is just saying it's just trickle charging the batteries just a little bit. You're just floating them, okay? Here's your storage lights. If you turn those on, all the lights under the coach turn on in all the compartments. Here's your auto steps. So I just turned it on and that step just came in. So when I open this door, the step will come out. When you're parked, just turn it off. There's no reason that needs to come in and out all the time, every time you open the door. Okay, so just turn that off. When you go to drive, no matter what position the auto steps are in, it should retract, okay? Here's your battery disconnect. You're usually just gonna leave that on at all times. Main light, and here's your outdoor patio light. And then we'll go over, specifically for this unit, I'm gonna show you how to close it up and to make sure that you bring the levels up. So first thing you wanna do is, before you turn on or off any generators or any power source, even shore power, turn off the AC units. They draw a lot of amperage, and you don't want like big surges when you unplug or plug something in or turn on or off a power source. So I turned them off. We're gonna wait about 30 seconds for them to actually turn off to do their power down sequence. Turn the lights off. Okay. Okay, so they're both off. Now I'm gonna turn the generator off. Okay. Generator's off. Okay. So now let's bring in this slide right here behind me. So you're gonna want to, usually I do it over here so I can watch it. A lot of this may seem like little things, but I've had a lot of success with not having to file any claims or any damages on units and stuff like that. So my runners, you guys have been doing a good job. I appreciate it. Okay, good. So that one's in. Now we're gonna do this one. Okay. Another thing that's important: make sure there's no kids and stuff jumping all over these when they're coming in. It'll just mess things up. Okay. So I'm bringing it in. I'm watching. Okay. I'm making sure everything looks good. You want to make sure that that driver chair is up far enough. Okay. If not, it'll bind and it will cause an issue. Okay, it's still going. Okay, we're good. Okay, so now all the slides are retracted. Let's take a look at this inverter over here. So now there's no AC power in, so if I turn it on, it should go to invert right there, because it's taking power from the batteries and it is keeping the refrigerator on, so it has to go to invert. So that's doing its job. Okay. All right, so we'll bring up the levelers. To do that, we got to turn on, we'll look at it over here again. We got to turn on the engine on and the parking brake. Okay, parking brake is still on, of course. Turn the engine on, and okay, on, and then it says jacks are down, so we need to retract all the jacks. So I'm going to press this, and the whole coach is going to shake around like crazy. Okay, so you're going to go until it doesn't say jacks down anymore. Okay. Sometimes it takes about a minute or so. Okay, so it's not saying jacks down. So what I always do is I always recommend you go and actually, before you drive away, you should always go and look. So I'll come out here, so the auto steps are on. I'll come out here by about this rear wheel, and I'll physically look underneath to make sure that the front two and the back two jacks are up. The last thing you want to do is drive away when you have levelers down because the sensor may be tweaked out. That sensor has never failed me before. I've never had it say that the jacks were up and not have them actually be up, but you never know. So cool. Now I can take the e-brake and release it, and I'm good to go. So now you can take off. You're good to go. Sweet. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know, like I said, there's a lot of small things, but all these small things will drastically help you operate the vehicle safely, make sure you don't have any damages and stuff like that. So yeah, and if you guys have any questions on your trip, before your trip, after your trip, feel free to let me know. Call or text me. I'm committed to make sure that you guys have a good trip. Yeah, so thanks so much. Appreciate it.